Hello, Internet. So, what is the point of video games? What are they good for? What do they do for the world? Before I dive too deep into this rabbit hole, let me welcome you to the Empirical Sword. I'm Lore Master DLC79. I'm an INTJ. I'm a gamer, and I talk about things that usually bore other people, probably like this topic. What are video games good for? Undeniably, they are a form of escapism. Most of us have lives that we're not happy in our lives. That's the majority of planet Earth. People living lives that don't satisfy them, sometimes frustrate them, and they desire a means of escaping that. And video games is one of the ways in which we do that. But why are we delving into a fictional medium to escape the lives that we don't like, rather than trying to make our lives better? Which is kind of the focus of my entire channel, so I won't dive too deep into that here. The question that I want to dive into for this video is that the only thing that video games can do? Are video games an art form? For example, novels and other forms of literature such as poetry. Even movies and television have kind of been elevated to art form. But what about video games? I mean, most people, when they think of video games, they think of either Call of Duty, where people just run around and shoot each other, and I'm pretty sure there's more to Call of Duty than that. But I'm not really a Call of Duty person, so I can't really attest to that. I mean, that's what I think of. Or we think of Minecraft, which here's the big mind-blowing thing: is Minecraft is no longer a video game. Minecraft is its own thing. It is its own genre of thing. It's a video game, but it's a video game that has become its own genre. It has become bigger than... I mean, if you go to Google Trends and compare the trendability, the monthly, daily searches of Minecraft versus any other game, Minecraft crushes every single other game on planet Earth. Except for like Final Fantasy 15, when it like just released, for the tiny window in time, Final Fantasy 15 was crushing Minecraft, and then it wasn't. That's what Minecraft is. Minecraft is no longer a video game. It is something completely different. So I could technically make another video: is Minecraft a work of art? And well, I mean, Minecraft maybe. Video games in general, I mean, some yes, some no. And I think because of that right there, the entire genre of, or subculture of video games, it's probably not an art form yet. I do see potential to it for video games to be an art form eventually. It really depends on the subculture that develops around the video game phenomenon. I have to check my list to make sure I'm covering all my topics. What about vehicles for discussing philosophy, ethics, morality? Much like novels, poetry, films, and even some forms of television, such as Star Trek. One of the awesomest shows ever. What a lot of people don't know is, or maybe a lot of people do know, but a lot of people not familiar with Star Trek trivia is Gene Roddenberry was not making a science fiction TV show. It was billed as a Western in space, but reality, it was morality tales, disguised as a science fiction action adventure in space. But do video games do the exact same thing? Again, I have to say some yes, some no. I think back to my experiences in Morrowind. Okay, to be honest, my experience in Morrowind, I can't even really call that a video game, because to me it was like halfway developed. There were so many glitches and bugs, and it was sometimes unplayable. I would not call that a video game. Now, Fallout 3, on the other hand, yes, there's like morality and ethics built into the game itself. Soma deals very strongly with philosophy and existentialism, and I think a lot of the unpopularity of Soma is because it was just like trying to jam it down the player's throat, and because it came from fictional games who became famous for doing scary games, people were expecting a scary game, and that's not what they got, and oh, we're angry now because we didn't get what we expected. See, this right here is why I hesitate to elevate video games to any sort of, like high-level philosophical or art form kind of thing. It's because the subculture isn't mature enough to get it there yet. But I do think that eventually the subculture around video games will get there. Eventually. As long as people like me don't get frustrated with all the people whining about whatever it is people whine about. Like microtransactions and loot boxes, and people giving death threats to EA, and I think Activision. Well, probably EA as well. It's immaturity like that. I really don't keep up with, because like I said in another video, if it stresses you out, if it makes you angry, stay away from it. You don't need to willfully expose yourself to stress. Unfortunately, the video game subculture does have a lot of stress associated with it, because there are a lot of new children, sometimes literally, sometimes figuratively, saying childish things. And I mean, it's part of that is like a product of our society. We don't really teach people how to grow up, and that. Again, that's part of what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give people the knowledge and wisdom needed to pursue their own course in life. But you have to be a grown-up to do that. So we have to learn how to grow up. And yes, I'm saying we. I'm saying we, because I'm still learning this myself. I'm a product of the exact same education system as everybody else. So I need to be working on this as well. And if that's something you're into, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop videos like this. And whatever you're watching next, I will see you then.